Hi, it's me, Julie, popping in for another day of 100 Days of Bible Promises, my Do the 100-Day Challenge. It's day 47. The title is Enduring Through the Trials. I'm just showing you right there. I used some clear gesso all over my page already, especially the page on the right, and a little bit on the page on the left. And I'm going to let it dry while I'm going through and doing some reading and highlighting of ideas. I used this wax highlighter crayon, and it didn't like the clear gesso very much. It kind of got stuck in all the grooves. So I'm just using a little water and a little paper towel to kind of smooth the color around so it's not just clumped up in one space on top of the words. But I love this one because it talks about temptation and how it's never easy, especially when the test lasts for a lifetime, but that's how long the testing of your faith lasts. And until then, you have the presence and power of God to help you and to hold on to. I love that because temptation is daily, hourly, by the minute. And to know that God has your back in all the things, He's protecting you and giving you exactly what you need to help you make the good choices. And whether you make the good choices or not, He is there showing up for you all the time. And so I am just reading through, and it's got this 1 Corinthians here. God is faithful, and He will not give you more than you're able to bear. So I'm using today this just in a personal way because I love, or I know that I'm tempted all the time, and I know that if I can just hold on, God will carry me and bring me and won't test me all the way to the end. I also love where it says that God is not an evil God. He cannot be tempted, and He will not tempt others. So we shouldn't be mad at God when we are tempted. It's not His fault. It's just what we're walking through. I'm going to go ahead and get started with a background here. I'm pulling out a bunch of my Tattered Angels myths. I have tons left. I was on the Tattered Angels design team for 2 years. I think is in 2017 and 2018, but I'm just using the smooshing method where I spray it on plastic, just a sticker packaging, add a little water, and then just press it straight onto my page. This is why I added some clear gesso, because I knew I was going to be working with wet medium and didn't want the page to buckle more than necessary. I'm kind of creating what I'm thinking of like a stormy background because of temptation is like stormy, and of course, the protection will be the umbrella. I'm just doing some splatters there. I love splatters. And then I'm going to give one quick spray of one of the aquamarine Tattered Angels spray right there. It's a good color. I love blues and greens. And so I'm going to go ahead and hand cut an umbrella, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I've got one cut there, but it's super easy. So if you don't know how to do it, this is how I did it. Grab you some scrap cardstock or paper, grab you something round that's big enough, and you want to trace about half of it. You do not need the whole circle, so you just cut it in half, what you've got, and then just cut out the round shape, and you're almost done. You just want to fold it exactly in half, and then fold it again in half so that the small end touches the fold in the middle. I'm going to show you here what I mean. You can see all the fold lines when you open it. All right, fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And then you can use a hole punch or just your scissors and just cut a curve right at the bottom. And there you go. There's your umbrella. Super easy. And they're almost the same size I did. I'm going to go ahead and use, I thought I was going to use the white one, but I'm going to go ahead and use the orange one. Now what I'm going to do is cover it up with something. I'm showing you here, I've got this this fabric I'm thinking about using. Use any kind of paper. This is vellum, but I am going to go with a napkin, which is why I went with the orange too, because the napkin has a lot of orange and pinks in it, and the orange just kind of blends right in, honestly. I love this napkin, and you can see I'm just kind of finding the best spot of color that I have, and I've decided on this first ones I look at. I'm just going to add tons of glue. Go hard with your glue stick. I can't be more serious. Use glue. That's what it's for, especially when you're doing something with tissue paper, because you just want it to stick really well and not be lifting up. So just press it right on there. And then you kind of want to burnish it a little bit. I just kind of pulled the tissue just to kind of get any wrinkles out, and I'm going in with the soft handles of my easy little snips, because you don't want to go with anything hard because you don't want the tissue paper to rip. And then you just cut it out. I'm not even cutting it out well. Okay, I'm just cutting it out around, but I am leaving an edge of tissue paper, and I'm okay with that. Mixed media is messy. It's a little bit, the lines should be a little bit blurred, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just chopping off as best I can in one quick pass, and I'm showing you there. You can see the edge of the tissue paper is still peeking out around the edge of the cardstock. He looks cute right there, but he is a little blendy in because the background of the napkin is a little blue, but I'm going to fix that here in a minute. All right, so we're going to cut the handle. You want to get a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper. I'm going with black, and just cut you a really tall, thin J. So just grab you a piece of paper that is long, as long as you want it to be, and then just curve it around into a J shape, and voila, there you go. I'm just curving the handle there so it's kind of got a soft edge, and then you'll just place it where you want it. Took me a hot minute to figure out where exactly I wanted it, but I think it turned out kind of cute. All right, just getting some black soot distress ink there. I'm going to go around and just define the edge of my umbrella so it sticks up and doesn't blend in so much with the background. And that's you can even tell that I didn't cut it all the way. All right, so I'm just going to start gluing it down, just using some Fabri-Tac there all over the back of my umbrella. I'm going to press the handle into it and then do a little Fabri-Tac on the handle too. And she's ready to go. There's our protection in the storm. Oh my goodness, that turned out super cute. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with that. Who doesn't want a huge flowers all over their umbrella? All right, so I'm pulling in this tissue paper now, and I've got this fun teardrop shaped punch that I got off a de-stash table. And of course, I knew it wouldn't punch the tissue, but I was hopeful. So you've got to give the tissue a little bit of body. So I'm just grabbing another piece of paper. This is just a scrap piece of ledger paper. So it's not very thick, like it's pretty thin, like printer paper. I'm just adding a bunch of glue, and I am pressing my tissue paper onto it just to give it some stability. If you want to punch tissue paper or die cut it even, sometimes you got to give it some stability, and just a simple piece of paper can do that. Like I said, this is not even cardstock, it's just paper. You can kind of see through it, it's so thin. All right, and look how nice that punches. So I'm doing some black raindrops for all the temptation that rains down on us daily. Right, and I'm just putting them everywhere on top of the umbrella. They can't go under the umbrella because, you know, nothing can get through God. He is there to be that shield and protection for us. And now that everybody is all glued in place, I've pulled out one of my smallest stamp sets, and I'm going to do some stamping here. Just going to take it out of the book and put it on top of a surface that will help me get, you know, fairly good impressions of the stamps. Now remember, I did use clear gesso, and so there's a lot of texture on this page that you can't see. I've kind of moved in a little closer so you can see me stamping. I'm just working backwards, and so if you are good with spelling, this is a technique that you might like to use, and it helps me figure out my spacing. So I usually stamp my words backwards going in, and it just says there, my God cannot be tempted. And then I'm going in with this tiny little hearted stamp and some mint green Heidi Swap ink. And I'm just going to do some tiny little hearts all up under and even around on top of the umbrella, just to show the goodness, or to represent the goodness that's in the world, the goodness that God gives us. And I kind of love that. And I'm using, it's very subtle, and so it almost is like an analogy that goodness comes in small packages in small ways, while evil usually has its big head rearing with those black raindrops. All right, so I went in looking for some washi tape, and I found this washi tape from Rebecca Hoot. It is a little girl walking in the rain with her umbrella, and I thought, well, that's cute. And so I am fussy cutting out this washi tape. I don't do this a whole lot, and I don't always recommend, if you're going to do a whole lot, this is not the technique that you want to do, is fussy cut washi tape. But once in a while, cutting out one image can be super cute and super effective for something like this. And it kind of cleans up the edges so nobody can really tell, hey, is that tape or what is that? So that's one reason I do like to do this technique and just cut out little pieces. You can see there how cute and tiny she is, and she's just going to hang around for just a minute until I figure out where exactly I'm going to put her. I'm going in with some washi tapes that match my color palette going on. This one's kind of a green, mint green grid at the bottom there, and just rounding out the corners real quick. And then I also found this white one with mint green roses on it. So it's really kind of pretty. Kind of loving that. I did put down a little glue on some first to catch, or to help that washi tape stick and adhere for the rest of its life. Just trimming some things up. And then my little girl is going to go on. Just giving her a little glue. And I put her down right at the bottom of the page. And I immediately regret that decision, and then I start to peel her back up very, very carefully, because I do not want her to rip, because I realize she needs to just be a little bit higher. So we're going to pretend like the green grid washi is more like a sidewalk, and she's walking on that and the wall is like the green roses. There we go. Done and done. And then I found this piece of blush embroidery thread while I was digging through the washi drawer, and I was going to throw it away, and I thought, nope, the umbrella needs a little bow on it. So then the umbrella now has a pink blush bow right at the handle. Super cute. And now just a little tab for my book to help my book bloom. I've got this vintage lace collar my mom used to wear, and of course, like everything else, cut it up already. And I've got a little piece here, moving it down because I do like my tabs to be, all over the whole page, not just always in one section. And I staple it twice, and I missed the back, so I staple it thrice, and I still missed the back. So I'm just gonna go in with some Fabri-Tac and glue the back down onto the page behind it. And that's it. We are done. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. See you all next time. Bye.